King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, man. Welcome to Kush Equilibrium. I am your always smoking host, Oops the Great, Drake. Drake. Get up, Drake. Like, oh, man. Drake out here clowning. This boy crashing out something awful. But I appreciate y'all pulling in for another smoke break while we talk about this hip hop thing or whatever is lateral of that with this lawsuit thing that I've been trying to tiptoe around as best I can, not talk about it too much, because like it's whack. But with the way it's going, we don't have a choice. I wouldn't be doing what I'm supposed to do as a channel if I turn a blind eye to it, so I have to pay attention to it to some degree. It's early in the AM right now. Like, you know how you go to sleep too early, you end up popping up early, and that's what happened with me. And caught a video that caught my eye, and it's a channel I ain't reacted to in a while. So I'm like, you know what? They was cooking. I mean, they was cooking. So I figured they saying what people really need to hear. When I do my reactions, kind of like my way of sharing, but add my own little tidbits, or I feel like somebody's soft pedaling something when it really needs some pressure added to it, I do it. But we gonna react to the Rap Roundtable. Now I'm gonna tell you why I picked them, and then we gonna get into it. Macito is a die-hard, unapologetic OVO fan, whereas the rest of the crew is more or less hip-hop neutral, more or less. So I really was checking it out to see how he was carrying it, because he kind of represents the Drake fan that can separate Drake from the music, more or less. So I wanted to catch his point of view. I found that really interesting, the way he spoke on it. So we're gonna react to that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, we're gonna add our little 1-2 to it, but help me take care of the YouTube police, keep them out of our business. So while we smoking like we about to do, or drinking like we known to do, or just talking our hip hop ish like we always do, help me out. Let me get this screen share while y'all taking care of that business. Put the ears on. Let's get to it. Now, I did speed up the video just a little bit because I want to get as much to y'all without making the video too long. Now, their video is 57 minutes. Obviously, I'm not going to do the whole 57 minutes. I kind of want y'all to go check out their video too. But they started shooting right out the gate. So let's get to it.
You know what I mean? But with this situation, this is one of those unique times where I don't even know where to go first. You know, I'm really confused about this whole situation. But I feel like,
yeah, I'm trying to hold my words in.
For those who actually follow the channel on a regular basis, let me know how you feel about videos being sped up, because I'll be trying to make sure they don't sound like the Chipmunks. But for longer videos, it'd be taking people sometimes a little minute to get to the crux of their point, and you be wanting to let people cook so you can really get the whole viewpoint of what they saying. But let me know if it's like, hey, that's distracting, you gotta take the speed down or don't speed it up or whatever. Just let me know.
So I feel like Macito, just based on the chat, yesterday's comments and today's chat so far, we got to go to Macito for this situation. And Macito, I'm going to ask you to just reset the scene, let the people know why exactly everyone is upset, and then follow that up with your thoughts on the situation.
We upset because we recently got an update in the UMG Drake case, right?
Another one.
Yeah, crazy update. So within this update, Drake's legal team is requesting a lot of things, right? I guess, I don't know if this is official discovery, you know what I mean? I'm not a super court guy, you know what I mean? Y'all can let me know. But it's just a call for specific evidence, specific things that can be relevant to this case, right? A whole lot of things, about like 90-something different items, right? Within them, they include, you know, what you would think, communications about Drake's a contract amongst Lucian and his cohorts. Conversation about whether there was what money was put into Not Like Us, all type of things. But the thing that's most inflammatory, right? That's why we here. The thing that's most inflammatory is that within these things that Drake is asking for, he's asking for a conversation pertaining to the paternity of Kendrick's child, his
Bro. How you ask about the paternity of another man, baby? I don't care about the scenario or nothing. That's diabolical. We gonna talk about it, but I want to let them cook.
the son that Drake spoke about in Family Matters, in relation to Dave Free, asking about that, right? Asking about conversations about Whitney, asking, because they already received Kendrick's contract, right? That was asked for before. They received it with many redactions. They're asking for the contract back with no redactions. They want to know everything about Kendrick. They even want to know what parking tickets he got. You know what I'm saying? So it's amongst that, the paternity, they also asking about Kendrick's criminal activity, asking about, it's a whole lot. You know what I mean? So a lot, with that being said, right? Charleston, if y'all feel like I missed anything super crazy within the discovery that Drake is asking for, y'all step right in. But
I'm assuming the criminal activity you're referring to is the domestic violence allegations.
Right. But actually, saying no, thank you for that. They're asking for specifically about the domestic, the DV allegations made within Family Matters, but they're asking about completely separate any type of conversation about Kendrick's criminal activity, period, in his life.
In general.
Just to dive into that part real quick, because I know I'm not gonna spin the block back to catch that after we go through the video. Essentially, it's like when I want to know what this man done did, period, criminally. So anything you may have or may not have done on the block, hanging with the homies, he want to know. He diving that deep. I want to say it's kind of like, hey, if I find out what you was doing in your everyday life, it's like a backhanded way to figure out affiliates. That's what I got from it. Because usually, unless you're somebody who's so independent and not messing with people that you do your dirt on your own, you probably, if you is doing dirt, excuse me, if you is doing dirt, who you doing that dirt with? Because again, remember, one of the tricky things about Dot is he reclusive, he to himself. So it's hard to zoom in and aim on somebody. You don't even know what is he doing or who he doing it with. You know what I'm saying? Remember, during the battle, he alleged Drake put money in the street to get information. Yeah, I want to know what he doing. Who he doing that with? This is the legal way of going about that. The money didn't work. So we're going to use the judicial system to make up for the pressure that the money didn't apply. That's what that is. Proceed.
Yes, in general. Other than that, asking about, conversations about, the shooting at Drake's house. I don't know if they want to know if Kendrick was involved. A lot of things, right? Whole lot of things. So a lot of people want to know. Listen, I'm sorry to let the OVO fans down, the OVO stands down, but I can't. There's a part of this I can't co-sign. I want to say I feel conflicted about this amongst the OVO embassy, right? Obviously, nobody can co-sign, bringing, the paternity of Kendrick's child in this, bringing Kendrick's wife into this, into the courtroom potentially, right? I don't understand what he's trying to do there, right? I don't know how that pertains to. Actually, I do, right? UMG basically said, we don't know if Not Like Us was true within the last court proceeding. So Drake, within that, is now saying, okay, we're going to see if everything is true. But I still can't co-sign that. That's nasty to me. That's why, Stin and Jarv, y'all were amongst the loudest. Yeah. Y'all got me, fellas. My fault. That was my screen messing up. Y'all were amongst the loudest saying that, why is Not Like Us in this, right? So within bringing Not Like Us in this, you now are bringing the battle within to this, asking about what the allegations are back and forth. So I cannot co-sign that. It feels nasty. It makes me a little nauseous to be a Drake fan this morning, having to explain away that. You know what I mean? I said the classic Popeyes. I'm tired, give to the fellas when this news came in. So it feels nasty, bro. And I understand. Every Drake fan want to talk about, what about if you were PDF? What about
that right there? What he said, it feels nasty to wake up being a Drake fan, and that I guess that's where my frustration starts with the actual Drake fans. You're volunteering to go through these emotions. You can pull the ripcord at any moment and eject. Ejectocito, cuz like you don't have to sit here and be gotta defend. Why would I want to enjoy be a fan of somebody? I, the fan, have to go about defending you every single day. And then you continue to do goofy stuff. You continue to be a corn. You continue to act simpish. And so every day, on top of my own everyday life struggles, I gotta worry about what you doing. Every time one of the homies see me throw your song on, they like, bruh, this what you on? Think about it, Drake fans gotta have how many conversations with a friend or a homie or co-worker or whatever. How many times a day? On the strip for what he doing. You can't even really be a fan. Proceed.
If why, how can somebody say that about him and him supposed to take that? Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Man to man, I get it. You got to clear your name. But this is nasty, bro. This is nasty. Listen, worst case scenario, right? We find out that Day Free is, this, that's nasty, bro. That's not nothing that the public needs to know. That's not nothing that should be out in the public. So I'm going on record. I can't agree with that nastiness. If Kendrick and his wife went through their own specific issues, then listen, that's for them to deal with. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that should be, listen, imagine Biggie taking Pac to court about smashing Faith, bro. We would be disgusted 30 years later. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't, that part of it feels nasty, right? I can't lie. I am interested in these documents because now they're asking UMG all type of things. They're asking UMG what were they talking about, with Drake's contract. They're talking about what was going on with the botting activity. Listen, I'm interested to see what comes out of that, right? Call me nosy. It is what it is. But I feel a little nauseous and a little weird this morning, feeling like, damn, Drake, like you took it. I know a lot of the Club Paradise guys are defending it. They are, but it feels a little nasty this morning having to explain away that aspect of it. Yes, sue UMG. I'm down for the fall of all record labels, bro. Yes, whether it's Kevin Lyles, Leor Cohen, Julie Greenwald, all of them, Lucian Grange can go. But if we need this aspect of it to be a part of it, then I can't co-sign it. It's nasty.
Yeah, Sincere the Rap Snob. The floor is yours.
This is gross, man. This is it's a travesty, a mockery of what we hold dear. This is a perversion of 50 years of hip hop for it to come to this in the biggest, most high stakes battle that we've seen thus far. For it to have landed here, this is a perversion of the culture that we hold dear. The fact that it was already bad enough up to this point, right? And this is where I can't see what Drake's possible end game could be, because it's like he keeps doubling down on the nasty word, right? We keep saying, yo, this is nasty word, this is nasty word. But then the next time that a story comes out and he updates the lawsuit, it's twice as nasty. It's 3 times, it's 5 times as nasty as the nasty word from the last time he updated it, right? Involving Kendrick's children. Now, I want to pause here for a second and address this, because and I've seen this point being made on Twitter and around the internet, where I guess Drake fans are like, but Kendrick can address Drake's son in a song, you know what I mean, in Meet the Grams, but now Drake can't address Kendrick's children, and it really boggles my mind how people cannot tell the difference and draw a line between a song in a battle and court papers and documents and a lawsuit and bringing this to essentially to in front of the government, you know what I mean, in front of the
Real quick, because I did hear that, and as a Kendrick fan, I want to make sure I go about talking about stuff in a way where it's not, hey, look, he being by, there he goes, showing that Kendrick love, and then constantly kicking Drake back in. When it comes to the mention of kids, period, the reason I differentiate, I can only speak for me. Adonis was already in the public light. You putting Adonis in videos. It was already a battle before this one that exposed who Adonis was. It didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that made that open game. Whereas it's been well stated, documented, however you want to phrase it, that Kendrick is again a reclusive person. The family not out like that. He not out like that until recently. This is the most we've seen of Kendrick Lamar in a long, long time. And we love it. I think we all love it, unless you don't like it. If he lived a lifestyle to where, for lack of a better word, he was parading the kids and the family, look at me, family man, whoop whoop whoop, look at my kids, taken care of. Cool. But where it looks like celebrities are actively going about, hey, I'm making this off scene, off limits, I feel like that should be respected. But then there is also a part of me that's like, it's a battle. Everything open game. You talk about my kids and family, I talk about your kids and family. It was also stated, though, that it was made clear before the battle even really jumped off. Hey, this is what we not gonna do. We gonna keep this hip hop. We gonna leave it like that. And as long as you play like that, I'ma play like that. And remember, it was Drake who didn't follow them guidelines. And he took it there. What did Kendrick say? That's something you don't want to do. Come on. We can't stick our head in the sand right now. I'm just saying. Proceed.
Judicial system. You know what I mean? That step, how people cannot differentiate between, a rap battle, a battle of wits, you know what I mean, and of artistic expression, and then bringing it now in front of the judicial system, in front of a judge, and in front of essentially, the government. You know what I mean? It's disgusting to me. It's gross. Like Mace feels nauseous. I'm beyond that at this point. It's crazy to me. Then the domestic violence allegations that and he wants to put that in the court papers as well. And to me, I guess what Drake is trying to do is just prove that he's right, prove that he was like right in what he said in Family Matters and whatever other songs he put out against Kendrick. And he I don't know. I guess he wants like something official, something like a piece of paper he could show the public, and because he feels so unfathomably hurt by the fact that hip hop as a whole, his fans, and prove that he was like right in what he said in Family Matters and whatever other songs he put out against Kendrick. And he I don't know. I guess he wants like something official, something like a piece of paper he could show the public, and because he to
that point, I found it interesting that he said that. I rewinded because normally I consume YouTube primarily on the TV, not really on my phone or computer. So I had to rewind it a couple of times when he said it. I've never heard anybody frame it that way. Maybe this is like in Drake's head, because I would really like to know what he's thinking. Fan or not. What's in his head? In his head, is he rationalizing it as, hey, you know what? If I get a piece of paper that said everything I said was true, I was right. To him, does that make him think, okay, not only does that prove I'm the winner, but that means you, the public, is going to accept me as the winner. Look, I went out, I got the piece of paper. It says I was right. I'm not wrong. That means y'all gonna come back and love me again. Y'all gonna accept me again. That means I'm the man again. That means this is void. He can't be number one. I am. Is that the rationale? If that is, whether we think that's sane thinking or not. If that is, would you, as a fan of hip hop, whether you're a Drake fan or not, would you be willing to accept that? Would you look at the situation differently, like, wow, okay, Buddy was right? I'm gonna give you my opinion on that, but think about that. Let's go. Proceed.
Feels so unfathomably hurt by the fact that hip hop as a whole, right? His fans aside, because his fans are going to be his fans, but hip hop as a whole, by and large, took Kendrick's side in this. And I know he feels hurt, and he's still going through all those stages of grief. And and he wants that official document that says, "You see, guys, I was right." But at what cost? At what cost are you going to be able to prove how right you were? By bringing this in front of a judge in our judicial system. Like it's such a huge step to take for such what I feel is small reward, because by the time this whole process is done, and let's say, just devil's advocate, let's say on the slim chance that he was actually right about and correct and truthful about the things that he said about Kendrick. You know what I mean? At what cost? Like, this whole process is going to leave the most sour, terrible taste in everybody's mouth. Like, nobody's going to care at the point where he gets to say, if he gets to say, look, I was right about this. Who's going to care? Right. At that point? Like, you've crossed so many lines, right? And that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, it doesn't calculate in his mind, like, all the lines that he's stepping on and crossing to get to this end goal of his, which is basically just to prove that, to prove that he was right about something. You know what I mean? Or at least try to get to that point. And it's so nasty. It's such a, again, it's such a mockery of this culture. Like, imagine Jay. You said imagine Biggie and Pac. Imagine Jay asking Columbia Records for documents stating factually when Nas in fact did see his first tech. Imagine that.
Show me the combo class I was in.
Show me the combo.
If you know, man. You gotta be from the streets to know he talking about.
You know what I mean? When Nas said, "Yo, Jay showed me the first time," like, Drake doesn't seem to understand that. Like, this is at the end of the day, everything is just going to be public opinion, and he lost in the court of public opinion, and now he's trying to win in an actual court of law. Nobody, I guarantee you, nobody's going to care if on the slim chance he actually ends up winning anything.
Everything he said, I'm approve. He right about. I just want to throw that out there real quick. Because he on fire. Again, I'm admitting I am a Drake hater. So it don't take too much for me to be like, yeah, fuck him. But listen, this is valid. Once upon a time, I was a Drake hater who couldn't really justify it. Because very few people saw the weirdness that I saw. Fast forward to now, feel like I got some legs standing in here. So, hey, I'm gonna let him proceed. Jarvis gonna do his 1-2. Then look. I got stuff to say. I'm just trying to let them frame it up
in the court of law. Nobody's gonna care. This whole thing has jumped the shark so many times over, and he's depleting his image and his aura day by day. The more that he carries this on. Drake, I plead, just drop it, right? This whole farce of I'm doing this for the artists and I want to take the record labels down because they're all corrupt and out the door. This is absolutely, you're bringing actual children, actual families into this. You're bringing in all these nasty allegations that is, at the end of the day, none of your business, right? Cut the shit, man. I beg you, just drop this whole thing because I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Well, Sincere the Rap Snob, not even so much angry, but it almost sounds like you're disappointed at this point, but I guess that's the best way to view it. Because
this is one of the weirdest parts to me. As a self-admitted Drake hater, it's gotten to a place with Drake. It's like, it's less of the hate. It's more of the, I don't know what I want to call it, sympathy or disappointment or what. It's like like I don't know. If y'all can help me describe it, please help me figure it out, because I want to understand why I went from I've always completely hated Drake. When I say if somebody got the aux in the car and they put a Drake song on, you think I won't stop in traffic? I already have several times. I've put people out several times. Don't play with me. Don't put that man music on in my car. You can get out. The bus is over there. I don't do that, Drake. You come to my clubhouse. You know how long it's been since we played Drake? Ain't played Drake since I've been there. Not when I'm actively in the building. No, we don't do Drake. So this ain't like a new thing to where I started hating him like when the battle started or something like that. This goes way beyond. But now I'm like, it's not even like, I hate. It's like every time I see somebody talk about Drake or hear somebody talk about Drake or I hear his music, I heard somebody playing it in a car one day, just driving. I was like, I wonder what Buddy going through. How you get to this point? But I'm gonna get into that. I want to wrap up with Jar.
Like I'm past the anger. I'm past the anger. You know what I mean?
For sure. But the thing that's, and real quick, as you guys are here pulling in, be about 336 in, but I only see about 80 likes. Hit the like button, people. Hit the subscribe option. Hit the notification bell. Run those numbers up. Hit the like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We at 22.1K subscribers. Let's get to 22.2K subscribers, please. Hit those buttons. Don't be stingy. It's very free. We ain't asking you to go in your pockets. We just saying do the free things. So make that happen for us. This situation, it's kind of comical now, and I want to make it clear that we are not condoning any form of domestic violence or anything to that nature, to where like we quote like a rapper so much that we will see past a certain thing, because that's an angle that people like when they want to make obtuse arguments. Oh, so it's okay for Kendrick to allegedly, et cetera, et cetera. No. We don't condone any of that. But the issue that I have with this is that the longer this story goes, this lawsuit scenario goes, the more the target of said lawsuit continues to move, right? Remember when this first thing came out months ago? It was about going against the man. Remember, Macito and I got into it, and I was like, you can't play that going against the man angle, whatever. And that was the thing. Oh, like the labels are playing nasty games. This is not about Kendrick. The labels are playing nasty games, and they did something very nefarious along the way to where it aided Kendrick in victory. It's not about Kendrick, but Universal played dirty to aid Kendrick. That's the angle that I remember when this thing first hit the fan. And then I remember saying,
it's important he doing this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back, because I think a lot of people, even me for a second, forgot what initially this was supposed to be about before it got to where it's at right now.
Man, remember Macito and I got into it, and I was like, you can't play that going against him. I have that we will see past a certain thing, because that's an angle that people like when they want to make obtuse arguments. Oh, so it's okay for Kendrick to allegedly, et cetera, et cetera. No. We don't condone any of that. But the issue that I have with this is that the longer this story goes, this lawsuit scenario goes, the more the target of said lawsuit continues to move, right? Remember when this first thing came out months ago?
Important.
It was about going against the man. Remember Macito and I got into it, and I was like, you can't play that going against the man angle, whatever. And that was the thing. Oh, like the labels are playing nasty games. This is not about Kendrick. The labels are playing nasty games, and they did something very nefarious along the way to where it aided Kendrick in victory. It's not about Kendrick, but Universal played dirty to aid Kendrick. That's the angle that I remember when this thing.
That was the beginning. Are they doing shady stuff to pump Kendrick up so they can defame him and re-sign him at a lower number, and he going to expose the industry for business practices that he's known about and was tired. My whole angle with that thing was, if he about to be the Lone Ranger or whatever of hip hop, he could have did this pre-battle. If you wanted this battle, you could have had this battle or whatever after whatever had happened with your lawsuit that you was gonna take on with UMG, brother. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You could have did the lawsuit pre-battle. Let whatever dust needs to settle with that settle. And then you and Kendrick could have got busy. Brother. Proceed.
First hit the fan. And then I remember saying in response, well, even if you're suing UMG for their nefarious acts, allegedly, in defense of Kendrick, you're still by proxy suing Kendrick. Now we've lived long enough, thankful to God for that, to where you're still bringing Kendrick into the fold. This whole thing has been about Kendrick the entire time. And that's the thing where it's like, we go back to not like us. Hey, Drake, we're not slow. And it's like, we told you, everybody peeped it every time, but we waiting for it to play out to it now. You can't even hide it anymore. If you're bringing in situations where he allegedly put hands on his lady, his child is not his, right? What does that have to do with Universal's situation? Like, what is it really about? Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do, even beyond the rap lyrics, is prove that Kendrick Lamar is not the guy that y'all think he is. No matter how you tried to go around it, because you wanted to take you still wanted your hip hop card. But what I'm taking from this is, you'd rather win if it means blowing everything up along the way. That's where we're at with Drake now. We're gonna take the whole thing down, including me, because hip hop don't want me. You know, my music is coming out, and I'm not getting a casual fan like I used to. I'm getting, because I'm such a megastar and I have so many fans that I'm always gonna pop a number, but I'm not getting those 4-week number ones, 5-week number ones, drop to number 4, drop to number 7, bop back up to number 1. His last single came out and it came in at 23 with Central C. So we can see that there's a real decline as far as his impact goes when it comes to singles and things of that nature. So when you lump all of these things together, it's like, bro, we see it now. You want to. Oh, he's what the coach is feeling. Oh, y'all like this guy. Oh, y'all push me out the way for this fraud. I'm gonna show you that he's a piece of crap, just like y'all think I am. And I wish you would have just done that from the rip, so we can expedite it the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is.
You should have kept it funky from the beginning. 100%. He should have just came out and said this was. If he was gonna really be about it, he should have just came out and put the lawsuit against Kendrick. Because if we be honest, in his heart of hearts, that's what he want to do. I think that will be I think that whatever legal team he got with the few, whatever little circle he got, came together and made the ultimate decision that, you know what, if you put a lawsuit against Kendrick, you're done regardless. A rapper suing a rapper is diabolical after a battle. That would cookie. Now, if we go against UMG, we can spin it. Let's finish this up.
What's going to happen now? I'm going to play both sides of it, and I see you. I'm going to play both sides of this argument. Let's say now, we're going to start here. You want to bring Kendrick down super bad. What if all the information comes out, right? And everything that you think happened or you thought might have happened comes out that is not true. And you were dead wrong in your lyrics and in your allegations. Then what? So you're willing to be a bitch? Because that's how niggas gonna look at you. The whole world, outside of Club Paradise, OVO crowd, they're all gonna look at you like a bitch. If it comes out that everything that you alleged or you're complaining about is not true. You actually speak to a manager, bro. And then you say, oh, no. I'm not talking about the employee. I'm talking about the policies. Whole time it was the employees. It was the employees.
Yo,
hey, Kendrick.
Dead ass.
Like, we talk about paternity tests. And the thing is, and I'll leave it like this before I pass it back to Sin. Kendrick himself, if memory serves me right, a year ago, said, yo, let's keep it rap. Kendrick came out and said there's no big three, it's just big me. He ain't say you was the Lucian Grange lapdog benefiting from label steroids. He didn't even he didn't jump in front of nothing for Pusha T years ago when it was reported years ago that Drake was blocking songs from coming out because Pusha was dissing. He kept it rap. And Drake immediately was like, it was almost like he said, the minute this dude even fixed his mouth to say something to me, I'm gonna blow him up.
This was a fire show. Rap Roundtable, yo. Check them out. But I have a way of looking at it. I played all that because then maybe with that information, what I'm about to say might make sense to y'all. If it don't, tell me. I mean, y'all be letting me know, because I like the fact y'all willing to go off on me. It's cool. I appreciate it, because that means you're willing to voice an opinion. I like that. I don't think this lawsuit I think this lawsuit is done with the intent to nuke hip hop in the US, period. Like I heard somebody refer to it as Drake taking his ball and going home. And I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, for a second, I can see that. And then the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. Follow me. In that metaphor, right? You take your ball, you go home. Okay, whoever's there can always go get another ball and come back and play. My thinking is Drake didn't take the ball home. I got to the point where like maybe he took the rim. Maybe he took the rim. Took the rims down. How many people really about to show up with another rim? You see what I'm saying? It ain't a basketball court no more. The rims is gone. I mean, unless you're in the hood, you probably just go get some crates. What Drake is doing is like, y'all don't want to play with me the way I want to play. Pause. Bet. Everybody leaves. But when y'all come back the next day, the basketball court gone completely. It's gone. That's what Drake is doing. He's taking the basketball court, period. He want the whole court. So he went to court. You see what I did there? See what I did there? I could be witty. But that's what he did. It's bigger than taking the basketball home. Took the whole basketball court. The rims, the backboard, the floor. He took it all. That's what he's trying to do. I'm gonna make another video about the I got another reaction video queued up later for more of a dive into the paperwork, because I'm not a paperwork guy. But let's think about this, and I apologize, we going over our time frame. We normally about 30 minutes. We probably gonna hit about 45, y'all. Let's think about this. Let's play both sides. Let's say Drake goes through this little process. First of all, envision this before I say what I was about to say. Envision this. If this thing keeps going on and on and on, eventually we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna actually see Drake on the stand. We're going to actually see Kendrick Lamar on the stand. Understand how ugly that is, fam. That's ugly. That's ugly. We're dragging the game itself damn near to court. It's just weird because imagine other genres or other entities where the greats are in court. That's just, it's like seeing Michael Jordan have to go to court for something with the NBA, or like it just feel like yuck. And whoever else can be added to this is to testify and be with, like, if we get to a point where we got multiple artists getting thrown in there about how they go about battles and all this other stuff to get a better gauge of the philosophy behind a rap battle. Come on, man. That's nasty. Like, that's gross. I see why Macito used the word nasty so much. That's nasty. He right. But after that, think about it. It's gonna go one or two ways. Let's say shits and giggles. Drake right. Kendrick beat on his chick. Yeah. His man's is the real father. There's a hole in that logic. I'll say it afterward. But think about this. In the eyes of most of us, that's going to make Kendrick actually look better. He forgave his woman for something, or they had a situation, this, that, and the third, where he might have stepped out, she stepped out, whatever the case may be. This man has self-admittedly gone to counseling. So, look like a couple who went through trouble, and he went and sought out and found help. And he's still with her. So, following the rainbow, he raising his man's kid. One, it's kind of weird that his man's is in this close proximity in his life, and he's not, but we gonna stick with this little story. Okay. How many women not gonna look at Kendrick favorably? Like, he stepped up and took care of his homeboy's kid. Maybe his homeboy wasn't in a position to do it. Him and his woman fell out and they got right back on the wagon. They straight now. Is that not a perfect picture of a family finding a way through crisis? I mean, it might be some motherfuckers say, he being a goofy taking care of his man kids. And hey, to who think that, you think that. But to a lot of grown people, it's like, he stood up and being a man about it. He admitted he had a problem. He went to counseling. His woman would have theoretically stepped out of him, had a baby with his man. He forgave his man enough to not fall out with him. He forgave her enough to not leave her. More importantly, something that people don't think about, he forgave the child, because sometimes some resentment can be made there. I didn't make you, this nigga made you. That makes him look pretty good in my eyes. So how does that hurt you? How does that hurt you? Let alone if Drake is wrong. He cooked. He cooked. But he not gonna care, because I shot the shot I felt I needed to have any semblance at restoring my name or making myself look right, or whatever the reasoning would be for it. But again, like I said, I think this lawsuit is intended to nuke hip hop. This is a grenade being pulled out. He pulled the pin out the grenade. He's chucking it into hip hop. And he's okay with whatever gets blown up. He done packed his bags already. He went to the UK with it. He got a whole new ecosystem to suck dry of their culture, like he tried to do here. Well, he successfully did here, because he lasted over a decade. The most talented grifter of all time. If you don't know what a grifter is, go watch the show Leverage. Because grifters oftentimes steal from right in front of you without you even knowing it. And he been in the public eye all this time, grifting away. And y'all been singing and dancing with it this entire time. You want to know how to steal the culture, you better study Drake. Because he trying to nuke ours after he didn't got what he can get out of it, man. I don't see how people rationally support this dude at all. I was happy to see Macito at least struggle. That's my issue. If you don't have some semblance of struggle, like, hey, this is my fandom of you is hard. If you not there with it, yo, what's wrong with you? Explain it. At this point, I'm really trying to understand how it's even possible. I'm Oops Great. This was Cush Equilibrium. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had to say it one more time for the YouTube. Please keep them happy. I appreciate y'all pulling up for another smoke break, man. We got to talk about, eventually we're going to get to talk about hip hop as in the music. I do got a couple of reactions, some songs, some music, some tunes I want to get to y'all. I'm really kind of stuck still on Alfredo 2. And actually Larry June is really heavy in the rotation right now for me. If I had to put an order on as to what I'm listening to right now, a lot of Alfredo 2 is probably still number 1. I will put Larry June number 2. Let God Sort Him Out number 3. Cushion Orange Juice 2. 2 is number 4. And then like I got like a little mix that I throw on from time to time when I don't want to go searching for music. But you know what I'm saying? That's just a quick little brief synopsis of what my music playlist looking like. Yeah, let me know what y'all music playlists look like too. I'm curious as to what everybody listens to, because everybody come from different areas. What's hot in your area might not be what's hot in mine, at least to you. So let me know, because I'm definitely willing to check something new out. But appreciate y'all. Let me get this video, whoop, 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 so I can get it to you. Get at you.